Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us today on Houston Professional Women Organization platform. This is Amber Jamshed, your host. As you know, Houston Professional Women Organization is all about celebrating women. It's all about promoting and supporting professional women all around the Texas and from the neighboring cities as well. We try to acknowledge the work these women are doing, and we try to promote their advocacy, and we try to bring them on this platform where they can connect with each other, where they can promote each other, and where they can support each other. So this is the goal and the vision of Houston Professional Women Organization. This interview series is especially to highlight and to celebrate the women who have done a lot of work for the community and who are making difference with their work and who are giving back to the community. So today I have an amazing guest with me, Dorothy Gibbons. She is one of those women who actually started Rose. Rose is an organization, a nonprofit organization who is contributing towards breast cancer work, the women who need, especially for the uninsured women. So one paid women is actually sponsoring to uninsured women. So the idea behind all this organization, we're going to be listening today, and we're going to be with Miss Dorothy, and let's see what she has to share with us and how she's managing all this work, especially when she started at that time when there wasn't any help available, the resources were very limited. So let's listen the story, and let's get inspired from this session. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for giving us your precious time. I know you've been busy, you've been doing a lot of work, but thank you for giving us your time. Welcome on this platform.
Oh, thank you. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much. First of all, before I jump into too many questions, I have a lot of questions for you today. First, I want to hear like briefly your journey. How did this idea hit you to start this organization, and how did you start the work? And Rose, and how did this idea came through you, like to work for the women who are going through breast cancer, and what's the story behind it?
Amber, I think for Dr. Malillo and I, because we are co-founders,
Mhm.
I don't think we set out to do this. You know, as many times in life, you gotta get put on a path, and every time you try to get off of it, something pushes you back.
Right.
Because she was a general surgeon and I was a marketing director at Bayshore Hospital. And, you know, she had an interest in breast cancer, and my job was to take her out in the community to talk about the importance of early detection. But after a while, the women knew they could go to her and find help. And always the woman who did not have insurance and didn't have money would end up at Dr. Billow's office with a very bad cancer. And invariably, that cancer would take her life. And she did not have to do that. Now, you have to remember, this is in the 80s and mammography was just starting. And so it wasn't just a matter of convincing women that they needed to use it, it was convincing them that they were worth it. And
Exactly.
I will tell you that theme has not changed in 35 years. Back then, mammography was not even covered by insurance. So we started our little center. We had a wonderful, wonderful encourager named Rose Kushner. And so my maiden name was Rose. Dixie's married name at the time was Rose. And we had met Rose Kushner. We had no choice but to call this place the Rose.
It's a
And
beautiful name, though. I must admit that it's a beautiful name, especially it relates to the
yeah, we
fit.
wanted it to be friendly, you know,
Mhm.
like for women, you're welcome here.
Exactly. And the color of the rose and the fragrance, and then, the everything, it definitely relate to the theme of the organization. So I can feel that at that time, probably the resources were probably very limited. So how did you get the help from the community, and how did you start it?
Well, Amber, and I don't say this easily, but we started with our first fundraiser, which was a bachelor's auction.
Oh, okay.
We sold men to start the Rose. and, and we had doctors and lawyers and businessmen who all agreed to be auctioned off. And of course, it was their wives and their girlfriends that bought them. But that's how we did our first fundraiser. It would not be very popular today, but back then it was accepted. And from there, we went through every type of fundraiser you could imagine. But our shrimp boil, which happens in June, has been going on for, something like 31 years.
Hmm.
And so, and it's truly a community affair. The Rose serves the community. And I think that goes a long ways in us having the community come back and support us.
I know because without the community help, it is not possible to do any big work, And I think there is the role of the community. If you really want to resolve any issue, we have to come up together and we have to help and support each other. But I'm happy that at that time, but the strength, and the initiative, you took at that time, I can imagine how much strength you needed at that time because whenever there is an idea hits you, you are not sure that you probably going to be able to execute that, and because it was a big thing, but at least as a community member you thought that it might gonna work. And even when I think to myself, if I can be helpful even to one person, or if I can make difference to anyone's life, not at huge platform, but at least to anyone's single life can benefit from me, then why not? So I hope that was the idea behind your thoughts too, that if you'll be able to help even one person. So, but look at now, you have explain it what Rose is doing right now, how many centers you have, what are the facilities you are offering, and how the community can help you.
Thank you for letting us share this about the Rose. We have two diagnostic centers. We
Mhm.
have three mobile mammography coaches, which we're about to add another one.
Mhm.
And we cover 40 counties.
Oh,
We
wow.
serve about 40,000 women a year. And of that number, almost 10,000 do not have insurance or have to use our cash discount program.
Which
And
is
so,
amazing.
the whole thing is we're a breast imaging center of excellence, and there's only 14 in the city, and we're two of them. And the importance of that is because we rely on that insured woman to come in and let her mammogram help keep our doors open so
Mhm.
we can take care of that uninsured woman. It's really very simple. For screening, we could do screening as many as we could just through our uninsured women. But when our insured women, when our uninsured come through, they need so much more than screening.
Right.
They need an ultrasound. They need a diagnostic workup. They haven't been having their mammograms. They invariably come with a problem in their breast. And one of the things that we say to them is don't be afraid to find cancer. Be afraid to find it late.
That
And
is
so,
true.
we take them from that first mammogram through their biopsy, and our program makes sure that that uninsured woman gets treatment. There's no sense in doing all this other stuff if we can't get her into treatment. And I think that is the true value of the Rose. And it's just amazing to me that 35 years later, we are still needed as much as we were then. There's lots of uninsured people. This last year has just set so many families back,
Mhm.
and it has been especially hard for women, whether you're a woman with trying to manage a job and children at home and homeschooling and all of that, or whether you're a woman trying to take care of elderly parents and not being able to see them. I mean, this has been a tough, tough year for women. And one of the things we know is that when stress levels go up, your immune system drops.
True.
When that immune system drops, then all kind of diseases can get hold. So we really, really are encouraging women to, don't skip that annual mammogram. And if you find something, don't sit on it. Go get it checked out.
Yeah, I know still even at this age or at this time, we are still scared of doing the mammograms. You know that many of the
I
women,
know.
they don't want to go, and it's this is not being taken like a regular checkup, like we
I
do
know.
go for the regular checkups, yearly checkups, but for the mammogram, when it comes to our mind, oh, okay, we can delay.
You
We
know
are
what,
pretty,
though?
we
What
will
could be
still,
worse than a pap smear? Come on.
yeah,
A
exactly,
mammogram, it's,
exactly.
and believe me, it is. I had, in fact, I had my annual mammogram today. I was in the room 7 minutes. I had this much pain, and then it's done. That's once a year. And imagine if you find that cancer when it's small, many times you don't even have to go through chemotherapy. For me, that's a biggie. I mean, we have so many more options with it. So I don't know how else to encourage it, but I will tell you, we have the new soft curve paddles
Uh-huh.
on our machines, and they are more comfortable. So, we really, we're trying to do everything we can to help that woman make that decision to take care of herself.
And the recommendable age is like when you hit your 40s, right? To go for the mammogram.
Yes, but Amber, we see too many young women to say, oh, that's when you start. And I'm going to encourage every young woman out there to, if you find anything unusual in your breast, then you need to have it checked out. 25% of all the women that we diagnose are under 40.
Oh,
Our youngest this past year, which she did a wonderful, wonderful presentation, was 22 years old. And I mean, we see that every year. So I don't want people to go, oh, well, I can't get it because I'm not 40 yet, or I'm too young for breast cancer, or I'm worse, I'm too young to go have a mammogram. Well, you're not too young to have breast cancer.
that's true.
So
That is true.
the biggest risk we have is being a woman, period. You're a woman, you're at risk.
One, can you briefly explain the procedure, like how the women can go and approach Rose if they are not have any kind of insurance? How easy it is, how simple it is. Can you explain a little bit?
It is so much more simpler than many of the programs that are in existence, state programs, county programs, but it's still a process. This program is for women who don't have insurance and who are low income. And that means that we're going to have to know how much you make. And you're going to have to bring us something to show that. You're also going to need a doctor's referral.
Okay.
Now, we are on the verge of being able to take care of that barrier. Right now, we have a lot of clinics and things that work with us to
Mhm.
make sure that woman can get the referral. You can't, a mammogram's just like going to Quest Lab and
Right.
saying, I want to do a CBC. Well, you can't do that
You
without a
can do that,
referral.
right?
But see, that's another cost for that uninsured woman. And we are finding a way to even eliminate that. It's not quite ready, but it will be before this next 3 months is out. We're just trying to take away one more barrier. So she needs to call, say she doesn't have insurance,
Right.
tell us she's low income, be ready to fill out an application, and be honest with us.
Exactly.
If you found something, we're going to jump through hoops to get you in, whether you meet that criteria or not, because we know. And so, but one of the things that we're very careful about, Amber, is we don't call this indigent care. We don't call this charity. We tell you as an uninsured woman, someone is sponsoring your services. And that's where our grants come in and our individual gifts. And when that insured woman comes in, all of those allow us to take care of her. We want her to feel someone cared enough about her to make sure that we had the funds to take care of her.
And I love this idea that when you convey this message, like someone is sponsoring you, women like you is there to support you, and women like you is there to take care of you. And this is a beautiful idea, behind this all procedure. Um, Tell me something about you. What are your strengths as a woman, sometimes probably you also feel like, okay, I cannot do this. How do you manage between your work life and your personal life?
I have a incredible husband, and a great support system. But I'm going to tell you, there is no work-life balance. I'm sure
Oh,
you feel it. You know, that's a myth. But when you're driven by your passion, then it becomes joy. It becomes, your life work. This isn't just work. And I just hope I can, stay healthy enough and have enough energy and all those things to see everything that I want to see happen at the Rose. Because even though I've been doing this 35 years, I have ideas for another 35. Just
yes,
not,
definitely. Why not? Yeah. I think it's all
so
about
yeah.
being compassionate about your goals, about the thing, about the vision you have. So once you have the vision, you definitely want to implement it and you work for it. It gives you automatic energy kind of thing,
Hmm.
if you are compassionate about anything, and if you're a compassionate person and you have a passion for any goals or anything, and especially if you are doing something for the community that nourishes your soul and that gives you a
Hmm.
different kind of energy. So
Oh
probably
yes.
that's the one that makes you more energetic and give you more energy all the way. So how many tell me about your personal life. Do you have kids? Do you have
I have one son and my husband has two. My husband's Canadian, so we don't get to see his family as much as we'd like to. Of course, they're all grown, and we have two grandchildren with his family. I'm not the best grandmother in the world, but and I do women's retreats in my home.
oh, okay.
And this has nothing to do with the rose, but it has to do with bringing together like-minded women who are very much on a journey of searching, and it's primarily for women who really are past childbearing age.
Oh, okay.
You know, and of course, I know you're not going to know this for many years, but once you get past childbearing age, it's almost like you don't matter.
Right.
And especially in health, I mean, everything just ends. And so that has become that next passion of mine, to make sure that women who are past that age realize how much they have yet to give and how much they have yet to experience. So I, that that's just me, and I truly believe I have a very strong spiritual life. I have a very strong belief in everything metaphysical.
Hmm.
I think we have no idea what's out there that we can't see.
That's true.
And I think we've got to be open to our intuition and our senses, and we've got to nourish that. You can't stay in front of a computer all day long and think you're going to be nourished. You need to get outside in nature a little bit. Watch those birds, play. That's what keeps us. That's what fills our soul.
So what is your me time? Like how do you spend your that's the spiritual thing and that the retreat you told me, how do you spend your me time? Like especially specifically only for you. What do you do to nourish that?
Outside digging in dirt.
Okay.
I love to dig in dirt, and we have a small country house
Hmm.
that's up near between College Station and Austin. It's in Caldwell, and that's all I do up there. It's digging dirt.
Digender. Okay. One or two more questions before I let you leave. What inspires you most in any person?
Oh. I think it's being authentic and being honest and not being afraid to make fun of your own self and share those things. We don't have many people we really share ourselves with. And
That's true.
when I find a woman who's able to do that, or a man, I immediately admire that and I immediately am drawn to it. And so, I think we just don't have those kind of connects as much as we need.
That is true. What is one thing that you are proud of yourself?
Ooh. Um,
I think the thing you are already doing is I know you're probably not going to be saying that, but allow me to say that because the work you are already doing for the community is awesome. I must say that.
But you know what? I'll tell you the thing that I'm most proud of in my life is that at age 53, I was willing to take a chance on a new love. Now,
Wow.
and this man is my love. And I hear women all the time go, "Oh, I have no time for men," or "I'm too old for that," or, "There's never going to be anyone in my life." Well, there can be. And that takes a lot of trust, and it takes being vulnerable, and it takes getting rid of all your old luggage,
That's true.
and so I had to do all those things. So if I had something that I'm really proud of, it was that I took that chance.
That is amazing. I never heard this before. So that is a very different answer. I wasn't expecting that for, but it's great. So what's your biggest fear ever?
My biggest fear is that someone's walking around out there with a big cancer in their breast and does not know about the rose.
That's
That this is a huge city. It's a huge state. We don't have a big marketing budget. We're not the first name you think of,
right.
but we are there. And when I hear someone has spent all their money going to another hospital or something like that, and now they have nowhere else to go, that's my fear. That's a really concern.
Hmm. What is the best piece of advice you have ever been given to you
That the
from
most important
anyone?
word in your life is next.
Sorry, I couldn't hear. You were breaking up. Can you repeat that? I want to
The
listen.
most important word in your life is next. Like, what's next?
What's next? Okay. That's also a very different answer, though. What is the biggest misconception about you?
That I'm stuck up, or that um, I'm really very shy. It's
Oh,
hard for me to just start making conversation. I can stand in front of a crowd of 1,000 and talk, but one on one and a little, I hate those small talk cocktail party things, So they think I'm being, snobby or something, but I'm really very
you're
shy.
not. Okay. Yeah, I think it varies from person to person. Sometimes they're comfortable in the big crowds, and some are comfortable with one-on-one meetings.
Mhm.
So it's like that. Okay. Any message you want to give out to young girls or women out there who are listening to you uh, from the experience of your life?
I think the most important thing any woman can do is to pay attention to how she talks to herself and the words that she uses to describe herself. Nobody should be saying, "Oh, I'm too short, too tall, too fat, too whatever." That, you are you. And we need to say, "Oh, this is me. This is good." And because if you don't, you know, take care of that part of you also and believe that about yourself, well, my goodness, who will? It's just so important. We have to watch the words we use.
So that means I'm trying to get that concept. Like it means you need to talk to yourself. You have to realize to your inner self that this is you and you can definitely do this, right?
And you're enough and you're
You're
fine just the way you are. I
you're
mean,
comfortable in your own
you didn't
skin.
get put here. God doesn't make junk.
Yeah.
And so you need to remember you're important and you're valuable.
Thank you so much. I am really, really inspired because whenever I interview someone, I try to take the things for myself. That's why I get involved in the person and I want to learn from the experience you had. So it's kind of training for myself too. And I am really, really pleased knowing the person who is sitting behind this computer. I have met you in a lot of other events, but I never get chance to talk to you in one-on-one, and it's been honored to talk to you. So thank you
Oh,
so much for sharing your time, and I probably gonna be visiting you at Rose pretty soon because I haven't done my mammogram as well, but I am probably be seeing you pretty soon. Now I'm not scared
Good,
anymore. I'm not
good.
scared anymore. So I'll be coming to you. Um,
Right, great.
thank you
Thank
so
you
much.
so much.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening. Bye bye.
You too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining us this evening. As you probably have enjoyed the interview, like me, because I always take these things very seriously, and I always try to get the most out of all the interviews. Because when you see the women who are like you and they are making difference in others' life, you definitely get inspired from them, and you get the inspiration from them. So that's what I am. I definitely get this thing from them, and I hope you have enjoyed this interview. At the end, I would like to end this interview with a strong quote, which is one of my favorite, that she was powerful not because she wasn't scared, but because she went on so strongly despite the fear. So my message to all the women out there who are listening, that yes, definitely you can do everything if you are compassionate, if you have passion, or if you have vision and goals that you really want to pursue. I know there will be hurdles, there will be a lot of things that will come to stop you, but if you have strong belief, if you believe in yourself, you can do anything. So keep moving, keep going forward, and keep doing the things that makes your soul happy. Thank you once again for joining us.